Believe by now everyone is in the right channel.
Alors, bonjour à tous et à toutes encore.
Hello everyone
Je
again.
m'appelle Bourgou Chouamba.
My name is
Je
Bogu
suis le
Tsamba.
coordonnateur régional des programmes de
I'm a
Groundswell International pour
regional
toute
coordinator
l'Afrique
for
de l'Ouest.
Groundswell
Je
International
suis basé
Program
à
in West
Fadangoma au
Africa.
Burkina Faso.
I'm based in Fadangoma in Burkina
Nous vous
Faso.
remercions grandement
We
d'avoir
thank you
créé l'espace
warmly
dans votre
for
agenda
having
pour
taken
nous
some time today in
préparer
your
de bonnes
schedule
réussites
to join us
et
right now
assister à
and
notre
follow
festival de film
our
intitulé
Field
Du
to
champ
Screen
à l'écran.
movie festival.
Merci encore et
Stay
restez
tuned
accrochés
and thanks again.
car nous commençons
We will
dans quelques
start
instants.
in a few seconds.
Je pense que chacun a pu choisir sa
I
langue de
believe that
préférence
now everyone has
et nous
chosen
pouvons
their
commencer
preferred
maintenant.
language and that we can
Sur
start
ce,
now.
je voudrais
I
passer
will
la parole
now
à notre chargée de
pass the mic
communication,
to our
Frida
communications
Pigou.
coordinator, Frida Pigou.
Greetings, everyone. It's a great pleasure to welcome you to the Youth Storytellers Field to Film Festival for West Africa. Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the Field to Film Festival for West Africa. My name again is Frida Pigru. I'm based in Ghana. In my role as the communications coordinator for Groundswell West Africa, I have been working closely with our partners and youth storytellers in facilitating the Youth Storyteller Program, and having worked with our regional team, colleagues of the Groundswell Global team, to accompany our partners and our wonderful young men and women in trainings, planning, film productions, editing, and above all, the coordination for the film festival. I am much honored to lead the official opening of this event today. This year's film festival is a unique one because previous film festivals were organized globally, bringing all our youth storytellers from South Asia, Latin America, and West Africa together. To deepen the context, connections, and increase our participation focus, we shifted to the regional film festivals this year, with today being the last of 3 regional festivals. So last year, over 70 young filmmakers, whom we call the Youth Storytellers, were part of Groundswell International's Youth Storyteller Program, partnering with our partners, Association de Rire Sans Détruire, ANSD in Burkina Faso, Agricole Afrique in Senegal, Sahel Echo in Mali, and the Center for Indigenous Knowledge and Organizational Development, CICOD in Ghana. Youth storytellers from indigenous communities, indigenous farming communities, with the support of our partners, learned photography, videography, interviewing, and innovative storytelling skills over the past year. With their mobile phones, with their passion and motivation, they captured powerful stories of their own mothers, sisters, and grandmothers who are leading agroecological change in their communities. We are being presented with 4 stories from each country's team, after which we will dive into their perspectives and experiences as community storytellers in a panel discussion. This year's film festival celebrates the UN's 2026 International Year of the Woman Farmer, with the theme being the stories of women farmers told through the eyes of youth. As we just celebrated International Women's Day 4 days ago, let us wear that garment and celebrate our gallant women farmers in agroecology, whilst appreciating the hard work of these youth-turned filmmakers, despite not being professional filmmakers. So, ladies and gentlemen, partners and colleagues, I wish you a thrilling movie moment. Thank you.
Bonjour, nous sommes les deux reporters de Moi c'est Sayouba. Ousmane.
Justine.
David.
Clémence.
Fifou. François.
Dans notre vidéo, nous allons parler des femmes et de leur accès aux ressources pour la production agricole.
Vous découvrirez leurs défis, leurs solutions et comment ANSD les accompagne.
Rendez-vous dans notre film pour en savoir plus.
À l'est du Burkina Faso, les femmes, piliers de la production agricole, rencontrent des difficultés d'accès aux ressources telles que les fertilisants, les semences, la terre pour produire, la formation et matériel. Ce problème émane entre autres des pesanteurs socioculturelles.
Ti ko ba san ike rapa de la bam ya zinha le yalan cotton mam sana cotton men kazi sungi arende ti le ile ko ayele anim ban na ton uhugo ele pan biriga ninge e menga ayele de la ton kwa wiwa entihi kanka la na bino yalan gwa ponga eninge ele pan bumbudo en boru totomen ayele.
Comme beaucoup de femmes, elle fait face au manque de moyens pour fertiliser ses champs.
Vilanke ile ton pan tom tiara ya tom te sak tona ato bala julli hawo fo kater pu sawa na pan ya kofo ale ka pusong lu na kofo te fo men tiak fo men pan ton tiak tu la ne pora zingi ton ne me ton pa formation an ne ton pie mala saba ning pu wate e soma la aton ye la bala pa kater zakla na bon rubinu bina binu male ton yite men kan we wante bon na bina wol mora wa pule pa man pa fo apwa fo zaksa kan sake o ka tum tier ko fo te fo male te fo pa formation si esa ikten de na sanka tu asa wite nan ka o rek saret o pu kan en pu le fo kan diake fo ka ter so nan diake te sa fo men tere me fo non dar fo punu fo briga fo non va fo va ma fe kya ni ra te fo non fo bottom a ti pun ma me fa ke ta yel yen fo san de diplôme la ti puru wa bor fo bien te zuzu kwen fo ne fo na mala sabte zuzu ra kwen le fo ka te tum tiel na zuzu na kwen.
Aux côtés des femmes, l'association Nourrir sans détruire ANSD accompagne leurs efforts à travers des formations, appui en semences et amélioration des moyens de production. Grâce à ces accompagnements, ces femmes s'organisent à travers certains nombres d'activités pour pallier à ces problèmes.
Derinda sam suna wahana awan jana ton formation la loabre te tona poaba en nataba en loabre leader ton handie lir kon ton chang min da bumbuda toto bumbudi na malpine titi ya isoma ton chang min da bundenga wa bor titi ya asoma en pahara Janse ton, sanfan orbo. To ton pa unifan, un kuohara, un pia ton tiro, un zazaka. Ton minga la fi wienge, fambe, asoma uhugo. Ama ekole, sebarabo, fambe, tunini zikong fan. Sanfan a zin asoma ne tono, la loi rame asoma ne tono. Sur le asoma uhugo, te po bambar uhugo.
Andes det si wan songton uhugo. Song ka bien ka songton. A songton la ne pour malbo, a songton la te pour. Le andes det se ni tengare ma, te tengare me se sak yak zi ko ba ma. Dana 1 hectare. Ton pina be sous le pour. De ton tonna. Toma asoma toma ton pian. Bala ton deta pour. Bala masana ti human low he. Ni dina wotoma ha. Yumna sensam. Bala human low sinya sandata. San kata fona bohonera. Fokater wakere na malabumi. La lera. San kata mam nanti mera yakon ko mam yaka. Bim yakon ko. Farase hemain.
L'accès des femmes aux ressources, c'est bien plus que produire. C'est bâtir un avenir plus juste, plus durable pour leur famille et pour la terre.
Bonjour, moi c'est François Connu, nous sommes jeunes reporters du Mali. Et pour nous, être jeunes reporters, c'est partager notre vision, notre ambition et notre culture avec le monde.
Bonjour, mon nom c'est Nicolas Koulibaly. Notre film parle d'un arbre majestueux, le néré son nom Bambara, de cet arbre aux 1000 vertus, dont son nom scientifique, le Parca biglobosa, longtemps utilisé par nos ancêtres.
Bonjour, je suis Bossois Damélé, jeune reporter du Mali. Longtemps utilisé pour rechausser un peu les plats, la vraie richesse du néré se réside dans ses graines qui subissent une fermentation unique pour devenir un condiment savoureux et nutritif, un procédé parfaitement maîtrisé par nos mamans africaines. Vous voulez donc découvrir plus sur le néré? Suivez l'intégralité de notre film.
En plein cœur de la savane africaine, un arbre majestueux se dresse offrant et cet trésor à ceux qui le respectent. C'est le néré.
Jean-Martin Koulibaly, mi sahel eko ba hana moso re mi matete du bewa abio ababe we se handwire we ahopro donc ba hana ya moso zinezo mi sahel eko se we de ba hana nuna irawe aba moso ni wazun aha vewa sa matete o mai yati handwire to handwire ira sapo wa ma baba wa de hanuna maha feno abuna wa webra do abaniya baba bayane tun ba hanana aba fe handwire irawe u yiremano bene ma wemu abon we bene mane aba yiwari anya we be uzosi ba cooperative ra o yiro yatimu no handwire sama tete dure ne wafa yi dure be serenyu.
Jusqu'à sa cible, le néré est un don de la nature. Ses racines, ses feuilles, son écorce et surtout ses fruits sont utilisés par les populations locales depuis des générations. Les longues gousses du néré renferment les graines noires entourées d'une pulpe jaune, un fruit particulièrement apprécié des enfants. Cette pulpe est une source précieuse de vitamines, mais la vraie richesse du néré réside dans ses graines, qui subissent une fermentation unique pour devenir un condiment savoureux et nutritif connu sous le nom de soumala.
Ai uhani chugwe miso ya zeze ohanwa he risia ha anya ni ha wonna ha mabu to mawe uhani sono we pa han po mane mari ti ha ma o ari furo le ha chu wa bio to ma ya ni ha ya dari hanti fa haita na darabo no nyama za ire ne fa mi ha o le bure ko kira o sa iyo azo bisi ne ahurumi o e bra yuri lo be mambo to zo bisi a fe ne hurumi o so ma betini ko he ya hatu to o ko to ma ya di fiso ade be na o fuso a pese ai ha ari kwa ama ide yo ma ya ni ju a o produit.
Ces produits incontournables en cuisine apportent des acides aminés essentiels, du fer et des vitamines enrichissant l'alimentation africaine.
Handwire wawe yiwari ha hanya we uraho yurana abe hayimi yura abuna walolo ba baba ba denyo lidwibena yawe ayiro alipa ambi awatumbini wese.
Au-delà de l'alimentation, le néré est aussi un remède naturel. Ses racines et son écorce sont utilisées pour soigner des infections comme les bronchites et certaines maladies de la peau, tandis que les feuilles peuvent soulager les troubles respiratoires et intestinaux. Sur le plan écologique, il joue un rôle de fertilisant naturel, enrichissant les sols, un atout non négligeable dans les pratiques agroforestières durables. Le néré est plus qu'un arbre, c'est un pilier de l'alimentation, de la santé et de la culture. En Afrique de l'Ouest, un véritable patrimoine vivant à protéger pour les générations futures.
salaamaaleykum maa ngi tudd Jibel Cissé jóge ko ba Maabo.
salaamaaleykum maa ngi tudd Fatim Ndong dëkk fi Ndiobène Diaby. salaamaaleykum maa ngi tudd Roqi Diang jóge ko fi Ndiobène Diaby.
ñun ñooy jeune reporter yi dëkk Kaffrine lu ñu leen bëgg a wan ci vidéo bi mooy njëriñu mbay mu sell bi ci dundinu doomu aadama ci mbayum ceeb.
ci vidéo bi dinañ leen wan njëriñu jigéen ci wàllu mbayum ceeb.
yaakaar nañu ne luñ leen di wan dina am ñu muy laal.
jërëjëf.
asalaamaaleykum maa ngi tudd Fatoumata Diop dëkk Ndiobène Diaglé mi ngi ci diggante Kaolack ak Kaffrine suñu gox bi ñu ngi leen xamee woon ci mbayum gerte dugub mboq ak ñebbe looloo waral ñu dippee ñu bassin arachidier yi bu njëkkoon mbayum ceeb ñu ngi ko daan gis ci bërëb yi nga xam ne ndox ma dafa bari woon fu mel ni Casamance wala Waalo léegi ak coppite jamono maanaam taw yi ni ñu bari am na variété ceeb boo xamante ne mën nañ koo bay moo tax ñun waa gox bi ñu soobu ci bayum ceeb ñu gis ne ceeb góor ñi ñoo ko daan bay ak machine daanaka lépp ñoo ko daan def terewul jigéen ñi di leen jàppale di leen naral yóbbul leen ko salaf ya bu ñu paree soobu sa bojj ba.
asalaamaaleykum mbooloo mi maa ngi nuyu ñëpp di gërëm ñëpp di gërëm ñi ma àndal nii ci liggéey bi fii ci Kaffrine bay gerte lañ xamoon ak dugub di jaay dugub ji di ko jëndee ceeb balaa yàlla jee taw dugub ji nga waroon a dundee feek noor di ñëwaat dugub joo jeex duutu la xam loo jaayee jëndee ceeb duutu la xam dugub joo lekk ndax jaay nga ko jëndee ko ceeb ba pare ci noor waaye léegi loolu yëpp jog na fi ñu ngi commencé di bay ceeb di ko dund léegi ceeb bi indi nañ bayee nañ ko ci xàll ba indi ko ci kër gi.
asalaamaaleykum maa ngi tudd madame Guèye ne Kumba Yambe Seck nekk présidente GIE ñàkk jariñu fii ci Thiès ceeb nag dañ koy liggéey mën nañ ko transformer defar si araw comme nii nga xam ne araw bi dinañ ci togg laax togg ci fonde dinañ ci defar caagri dinañ ci defar cere caagri biñ ciy defarit mën na ànd ak soow comme aussi mën nga ko kaas de togg sa soos def ko ci mu remplacer couscous marocain mu doon couscous Sénégal rek macha allah. leen dérivé ci araw ceeb lañ si buñ ci ceeb bi buñ gannaaw bañ ko béyee muy riz de la vallée doon ceeb bu ñu béyee fii nii ci suñu réew ñu transformé ko def ci araw bi nag dinañ ci am ñetti calibre dinañ ci am bu sew am ci bu moyen am ci bu dijj xam naa ne moom baax na trop te bëri na ay ferñeent yu ci nekk bari na njariñ mais nag bu ñuy wax ceeb bi tamit ceeb bi ñu béyee suñu réew nga xam ne
ñu weer ci basan bi ba mu tàng ñu bëgg kaay bojj léegi moom laa bëgg a tibb nii bees li tax ma di ko bees dama kaa bëgg a bees li xoyof des ci suuf dama kaay bees li xoyof des ci suuf li dijj mooy des ci bool ceeb boo dijj bi mooy des ci bool bi nii gis nga lii naaw li yëpp lu xoyof la gis nga li xoyof rek mooy def waaye li dis yëpp ci bool bi laay def bees naa ko ba mu set bii mooy boo baax li tax ñu naan ceeb mu ngi nii xaar ma sotti guni fii ñu dëbb li set moo nekk nii ci gën li set moo nekk nii dëbb leen bu ñuy dëbb nag duñ dëbb bu baax ndànk la ñuy dëbb ndax bañ ceeb bi mokk bu mokkee fay bëri sànqal ba ëpp doo ko mën a togg ceeb baat léegi dëbb nañ ba pare mokk na xaaral ma yegg ko ci bool bi beesaat nga gis léegi damay beesaat waaw ñu ne set na nag moo ko léegi ma am ceeb bu ma toog gaañ de te dee ma sa bitig ba jëndi ceeb moo tax mbayum ceeb baax bees naa ba pare def nañ ko ci gën gi dëbb ko mokk na yàq naa ko ci paan gi def ci bool bi bees naa ko ba pare léegi xolal bi ma ko beesee ba pare ak bi ma tibbee bees ni meloon gi nga biñ ko dëbbee ba pare lii lañ xam ñu ngi doog a am ceeb waaye lii nekkutoon ceeb.
boo bayee ceeb bala nga koy togg da ngay jël ndox sotti ko si ceeb bi sebati ko ba ndox ba tilim yëpp génn après nga def ko si indee bi ba ndox bi yëpp si nga def ko si cin bi boo ko defee cin bi ba mu suus après nag nga xëppi mën nga dindi ko si cin bi boo ko dindi si cin bi ba nga set ba pare nga jël ceeb bi sotti ko si cin bi boo yëngatee ba pare nga bàyyi noonu ba si kanam nga jàllale boo jàllale léegi ñëw rek après mën nga yàq.
maa koy rokk jaañ ma nag.
We are youth storytellers of Secord, Ghana.
My name is Nale Victor, a youth storyteller from Laura in the Upper West region.
My name is Arnold from Ghana, Upper West region, Nandom.
My name is Judith Boreon from Nandom in the Upper West region of Ghana.
My name is Nimia Enes. I'm from Ermon Yara in the Laura municipality.
My name is Cynthia Kwebesane from Laura, Upper West region in the Laura municipality.
And we are here to tell a story about how Madam Grace Sanker, how she gained self-ability through the use of agroecology.
In northern Ghana, farming isn't just work. It is life itself. It is what feeds families, builds friendships, and keeps communities alive. Across the Nandom and Laura areas, farmers are slowly turning back to the wisdom of the land, farming in ways that protect nature and bring people together. One of these farmers is Madam Grace Sanker from Senegal, a small community in the Nandom municipality. Grace is a widow, but that hasn't stopped her. She works hard on her farm every day, using agroecological methods she's learned through Seacourt's work.
In your Grace Sanker, so in about it. In San Fility Aqua, so in what Kulan, so in Minakulu, or make quarter that can post on it. A comment de Timakwa, Kakera Benamida, then Varenka Kerebere, in it Darania we are poor. So the Marco and Lao Combele, Atane. Me a simbi, be a camava, be me soya beans and a mawa at the Alnim in Daily Binaka. Echa kama pegana denu pira alatia dim ala ibina asangwa so I am born in a lene ngobi ala ambele kama pegane so that na dawa wa kwazi in dawa papala kwantule dawa daya ala ni dawo ya ebr to wache anabe bulu bare ala wati bulu atakulu yanfwa ina kona li buba pira adoba bineni an no bini that mata ayi enwa fere.
She sometimes struggled to get enough manure for her crops. Yet, through the spirit of community, her neighbor often shares manure with her.
Ake adobara ake sonfi ya prete. Ibe tona nye adoba bine ayikulu ayangate bon kware po. Ake adoba mte mecha akware. Burinya wata alante mecha akwo kwati bibi. Abe dina burinya. Ake adoba bina aticha wo yang ate bon kware po aleba ti kulu. Nto so kan bete banga eminje wa owuya. Nwa sela sir keme ya kulu ya ko. Wulu ale unana ate ba mantara kama va una menje kubera. Bantara kama va eke store emalia ikulu. Ome metwa yara owuya po eko ametwa menya bondere akara ne ondebe. Ete me ya duba kulu black ako. Ocha enga o bonkware po. Amecha amekwane au bome. Amenya bondere amekara ne ondebe.
Nyana anayi mole kumegan akulu. Anayi mene mole gan akulu ma daruna. To tina wa vie inkar atikwa. Ga tepu mle. So ale sote pami akekere ne abume tate temi bera ganle. So data wa yan funya arda apone. Ko ina to e yoma yo poini ani na kwaka. Ani imi kon kama. So imi to ande so yambit adel burbur yan kunkuwe ya. Biya salu biya ber. Ani simbi. Ade bien bien alolo. Adoba ana da ira na tetile pila do. Ale gba din dorgba. Adoba emi dogba. Ena adino sasatera por India latia bagere awuria na bome andara in. Ani na bina apa ale adpafune da pa sana da wani juba. So asana nge ya na asiwe kwera a tewo so de asin vare de aper. So men adoba kule ma ati amba ale wa kan bi adoba da abuku abubina imi wo ba chire do la.
It is moments like this that show what agroecology really means. It's not just about growing crops. It is about growing together. It brings people closer, builds trust, and keeps hope alive in our communities.
Merci beaucoup.
Thank you very much. Frida.
Merci aux jeunes reporters.
Thank you to the Youth Storytellers, and thank you everyone. Now I will introduce today's panelists. We have Ousmane Ouedraogo, He's a member of the Youth Storyteller team in Burkina Faso who worked with Association Nourrir Sans Détruire, or NSD. We also have Alimatou Diop, a youth storyteller who worked with agroecological in Senegal. We also have Boussoane Bembele and François Koné in Mali who work with Sahel Eco. Finally, we have Arnold Nin Fakang who works with SECOD in Ghana. Dear panelists, thank you for being available to take part of this discussion. First, we will ask questions to our panelists. Then we will take a few questions from our audience, and we will ask some of you to answer these questions. But to start, I would like to ask my first question to Arnold Ninkafan. Arnold, beyond what neighbors do to support each other in the spread of agroecology, particularly soil health, as shown in your video, what can youth do to support women like Madame Grace Sanker in order to keep safeguarding our lands from degradation? Arnold?
Right, thank you very much. Okay, so as a youth storyteller and being a story, I think that with the youth have a very important stake. We have to empower them and making very hard on the basic. I think the things we can do is to create awareness. So we can implement community nutrition and those go to schools. It can really help us as a healthy environment. This kind of some resources may include composting, publication, and stock conservation. Still, I think they can support the women in innovation and then technology, media. So far, you are so familiar with media. Okay, we have very last.
Sorry, Arnold, the line is breaking. Maybe you can share your video. A little bit better. Maybe if you shut your video, it will help.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, a little bit better. Let's continue.
All right, so I'm saying that I think the first thing we can do is avoid through education. And by it, organize community demonstration, school on agroecological practices, such as composting, crop rotation, and soil degradation. This will help enlighten the farmers on mental health, both human and environment large. I hope I was here.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Just to clarify my video, it's time to continue.
Thank you, Arnold. Maybe towards the end of the session, if we have time, we'll come back to you and maybe by that time, the connection will be improved. So let's proceed to maintenant continuons avec
Now let's
Monsieur
proceed with Mr. Ousmane Ouedraogo
de Burkina Faso.
In Burkina Faso.
Après avoir suivi
Following
de ces femmes,
the stories of these women,
leurs efforts vous motivent.
are their efforts motivating for you and your colleagues in any way about the future of agroecology in your communities? Thank you. For my colleagues and myself, these stories are a source of inspiration and determination for several reasons. First, seeing women such as Fatih Balema to go from a situation where they had to beg for money in order to produce, to go from that to a situation of self-sufficiency and even extra income for their neighbors. This confirms that agroecology works even on difficult, challenging soils. Also, the fact that traditional authorities decided to allocate land specifically to women, thanks to the intervention, the help of ANSD. This shows that mentalities are evolving. Before, in our communities, women did not have access to land because of social and economical barriers. Finally, agroecology goes well beyond the limits of the field. Now, these women are able to produce and market their products, and through that extra income, they are able to finance additional activities such as soap making, or also able to save money. This shows that agroecology is the bedrock of a village economy that reinforces in a durable way dignity and autonomy, financial independence of the women. These women farmers are the true experts. They show us that agroecology is an act of resistance and an act of durability in the face of climate change. Thank you. Thank you very much, Ousmane. Now we're going to Senegal to talk with Madame Alimatou Diop. Madame Alimatou. This was a beautiful trip to see the role that women play in the production of rice from the field all the way to the plate. Why did you choose to tell the story of the role of women in the production of rice? Hello, everyone. We chose to tell this story because women play a vital role in the production of rice from the field to the plate. In many communities, they actively take part at various steps of the process, from growing, harvesting, processing the rice. However, their contribution is often not very visible and not always recognized. This movie, we really wanted to highlight their work, their commitment, and the importance of their role in food security and the development of rural communities. We hope also that this story will help better showcase and value the vital role that women play in the production of rice. Thank you very much, Alimatou. Let's go now to Mali to speak to Mrs. Boswan Dembele. In your video, we learned about the relationship between women and a tree called the nere tree, and in particular, the importance of this tree for health and nutrition. How can youth engage in protecting their local environments?
Bonjour à tous, merci pour
Hello,
la question.
everyone. Thank you very much for the question. I believe that environment is everything that surrounds us. Its protection is vital because it ensures health, the economy, and the future of our communities. Once we are aware of the value of this heritage, the youth can become true actors of change. This commitment can take several forms. Practically, could be the practice of an assisted natural regeneration, which aims at protecting young, spontaneous plants, and they can also try to work on favoring local food species, such as nere, karité, and baobab. Youth can also support the valorization of the sumbala, a natural product that reinforces the economy of the women and health of families. And they can also highlight this work through videos, posters, movie sessions, and community discussions by sharing those important messages about resources. Thank you very much, Bouswan. Now we will end with François Connet. François, tell us about your experience creating this film. What were your challenges and the successes you met?
C'est François du côté du Mali.
Hello, this is François in Mali.
En ce qui concerne la réalisation de notre film.
Regarding the experience in making the movie, I'd like to talk first about the challenges we faced.
C'est d'abord l'accès au néré.
One of the first challenge was access to the nere tree, which was complicated. This species is becoming rare, and we had to travel a lot through the bush to access the tree. This species is becoming rare. So this created some access challenges. Another challenge had to do with the tools. For example, the software that we use to work for video production. In the video, you see that the quality is somewhat limited because we worked on this video with the tools at hand. Everything was filmed with smartphones. So at the same time, it's a challenge, but it's also a success because we ended up making the movie. So we adapted to that situation. So I also see it as a success. Also, I'd like to also highlight other successes. Our partner, Saeleco, taught us a lot about this tree. This tree has a lot of advantages. It can cure diseases, whether the bark or its roots.
Donc ça, c'est en termes de succès également. Bien que les jeunes reporters, vu leurs efforts,
the youth storytellers
impliqués, voilà,
worked really hard.
de cette vidéo-là.
for the production of this video.
C'est un atout parce que le fait la vie le jour. Si nous sommes là aujourd'hui,
This is really something to be celebrated. If we're here today, it's because the youth storytellers worked hard here in Mali.
Merci.
Thank you very much.
Ok, merci beaucoup. Avec l'indigence des uns et
Thank
des
you very
autres, on
much.
va retourner au Ghana pour voir
We
si
will try to go
la
back to Ghana to see if we have a better connection.
Arnold, on va tenter une
Mr.
dernière fois
Arnold,
pour voir si c'est
we
mieux.
will try
Au
again
cas où ça ne marche pas, on va arrêter comme ça et
to see if it works, and if it doesn't work, we'll have to stop.
Voilà, je reprends la question au-delà de ce que
So I'm asking again, beyond what neighbors do to support each other in the spread of agroecology, in particular about soil health, as is shown in your video, what can youth do to support women like Madame Grace Sanker in order to keep safeguarding our land from degradation?
Thank you very much. I don't have the now. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I saw saying I think the cards are very possible today when it comes to men and then the issues of so the first thing I think that you can do is to create awareness, education, and self organizations in our community and educate people on agriculture, is composting, was there do for the implementation and conservation so that we let them know that that's the cap and show them. So yeah, I think trade innovation and technology, we can also have the moment access.
Ok, désolé Arnaud, pouvez-vous, voilà, essayons comme ça. Merci.
Arnold, can you with that video? Let's try again.
D'accord. Apparemment, ça s'empire. Bon.
Apparently it's getting worse, so we're sorry. Technology is not with us today. Let's move on with the next step. Arnold, if you're okay, we will move forward, considering that there's no real improvement in the internet connection.
Alors, donc, merci beaucoup.
Thank you.
À tous ces jeunes reporters.
Thank you, everyone, to all the youth storytellers. Thank you for everyone who's following us from around the world. We will now move on to the Q&A part with a few questions that some of you were kind enough to submit. I would like to ask Mr. Ousmane.
Alors, qu'est-ce qui a motivé?
What motivated?
Qu'est-ce qui vous a motivé à
What motivated you to tell the stories of women?
Okay, merci pour la question.
Thank you for this question.
Okay, merci pour la question.
Thank you for the question. What motivated us to present this story about women is that as youth storytellers, we're the voice of those who do not have a voice. The women in our communities had a lot of problems, difficulties, but their voice was not being heard. And now, today, the story went really far. And we also wanted to show ANSD's action in our region. ANSD is an organization that intervened with the traditional authorities in order for the women to have access to land. And they also introduced farming techniques. They were trained, and the training that they received allowed them to improve the production and to grow crops on land that was previously not being cultivated. So this is what motivated us to present the story of these women. Thank you.
Merci beaucoup.
Thank you very much.
Alors, Madame Bossoin du Mali.
And Madame Bossoin in Mali.
En quoi la réalisation de ces films vous a-t-elle changé?
In which way the making this movie changed you? How were you changed by making this movie?
Merci pour la question.
Thank you for the question.
La réalisation de ce film nous a ouvert les yeux.
Making this movie opened our eyes about the wealth of our land, and we saw that women did not only process products, but they also play a role in protecting the environment and the culture. So it made us really proud of our heritage, but also it highlighted our role and responsibility in protecting this culture and support the work of these women. Thank you very much to all the panelists and to our public as well. I hope this was a good moment of sharing for all of you, all of us. Now, I would like to pass the mic to Steve Béchat, who's the director, the head of Groundswell International, for his closing address.
Thank you, Twamba. And thank you to these wonderful young people and women for sharing your incredible words, films, and stories today. Why does Groundswell International invest in this Youth Storytellers Program? Because for all of us as human beings, telling stories is central to who we are. Human beings tell stories to understand life and make meaning of it, to construct our individual and communal identities, and to pass on wisdom from one generation to the next. The narratives that we too often hear today in our countries and globally are about political crisis, conflict, and economic extraction. These realities are often driven by the most powerful and wealthy nations and corporations with little regard for the people and the planet. Many people around the world are now trying to understand what narrative and new world order are these actors promoting. But if we look at the world instead from the perspective of the millions of people and communities who are taking hopeful action where they live every day, like those we have heard from today and in our earlier film festivals from South Asia and Latin America, we believe that we can see them creating a new and more hopeful story for our world from the ground up, one community at a time. This is the thread that ties all of these stories together. Globally, smallholder farmer families like those in today's films represent 2.5 billion people, nearly a third of the world's population. We believe that their creative capacity to organize, build solidarity, and farm regeneratively with nature instead of against it is perhaps the most powerful force that can be unleashed to overcome hunger, poverty, and climate change. So let's work together to grow that force. Today's stories are threads in a global tapestry that we all have a responsibility to weave and create together. As we lift up the work and the voices of young people, we want to invite you now to hear the closing comments of Vanessa, who leads communications and the Youth Storyteller Program for our Burkina Faso partner, ANSD. Thank you all for being with us today. Vanessa?
Ok. Et merci Steve pour ces mots vraiment
Thank you,
inspirants.
Steve, for these
À toutes et à
very
tous.
inspiring words.
C'est un honneur pour
Hello,
moi de
everyone.
prendre la parole en
I'm
dernier lieu
very
pour
honored
cette célébration de la créativité et
have been
l'engagement.
chosen to
Mes
close
premiers remerciements vont
this
à
celebration
l'endroit
of
de nos jeunes
creativity and
talents.
commitment.
Vous nous avez
My first
inspirés et
thanks
inspirés par la
go
force
to our youth
conviviale
talents. You
et
touched
la
us, you
pertinence
moved
donc
us, you inspired
de
us
vos récits.
by the
Merci
strength
également
of your
à tous
image
nos
and the
participants.
authenticity of
Vos
your
échanges
stories.
et votre
Thank you
présence
also to all our guest
ont enrichi
participants.
les débats
Your
et donné
views
une âme à ce
and your
festival.
presence enriched the discussions, and you were the
Rien de
souls
tout
of
cela
this
ne serait
festival.
possible grâce au
None
soutien
of this
précieux de nos
would be
partenaires
possible
qui
without the
croient
valuable
fermement
support of our
au
partners,
pouvoir donc du
who
cinéma
strongly
comme
believe
vecteur du
in the
changement.
strength of cinema as
Merci
a tool
également
for
à
change.
nos
Thank you
traducteurs.
also
Vous
to
êtes
our
le pont
translators.
indispensable
You are
qui
the
permet à nos
essential
idées
bridges
de
that allow
traverser
our
les
ideas
frontières linguistiques.
to cross our
Je
language
tiens à
borders.
saluer également
I'd like also to
le travail
commend
acharné de
the
tout le
hard
personnel.
work of all the
Derrière chaque
staff
micro et
behind
chaque
each
écran,
screen,
il y a votre
behind
énergie et
each
votre dévouement.
mic. There's your
Alors
energy
que
and your
se ferment,
commitment. Now
alors que se ferment les projecteurs
that the
de cette
spotlights
édition, je
go
vous
dark on
invite
this
à vous
edition,
projeter avec nous vers
I
l'avenir.
would like to invite you to
Nous
project
avons
yourself in
déjà
the
hâte
future.
de vous retrouver pour la
We
prochaine
already look
édition.
forward to
Encore
meet you
plus
again
haute,
for
encore plus
next year's
audacieuse.
edition,
Merci à tous
which
et
will be
bonne fin
even
de
bigger
soirée.
and bolder than this edition. Thank you all and have a good night.